Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.
Sir, can you please tell the fourth point in post-MPA models, MPA models?
Whole of the government. So it is one of the most, or perhaps the most important topic of this chapter. Most important topic for UPSC from chapter 1. The more you know, the less you know. This is endless, let's say that. That's why you can see post NPA models, they are more than what NPA model is. Anyhow, so questions have been asked that what is new in new public management? So that has been a question itself. Question has been asked on this. NPM as neo-Taylorism. This question has been asked from this. Impact India and world. Question has been asked on criticisms multiple times. We'll teach that what are criticisms. And for the first time, it was expected they asked this question. comparing NPM and public service 2019. So from that perspective, let's say, we have been inspecting all. Although it has application, whole of the government, it has lots of application in other chapters also. This is an emerging seventh paradigm. So we have been inspecting, let's say, that with such questions, including network governance acceptance. Hence, it gives already question they have asked on post NPM model without referring any models. It was the second time a question was asked. Already this, they did not mention any model, simply they asked post NPM model. When they asked question on post NPM model, then we started teaching post NPM model. We are at times one step back. Right. At times we are also one step ahead. If questions will be asked from this, then we will be ahead. Like say this, when they asked public service, it was a highly expected question. So this is how it means. Many times we come to know a particular development when a question is asked. Otherwise, you do not know that what is the development in public administration, because books, you know that books are not going to address contemporary developments. Even you will find that how Moitti Bhattacharya is inadequate on certain number of topics. So that is what we have to take into consideration. Okay. So we'll have to write some questions, then we'll take. There can be so many questions, right? Means it is endless. Again, I will tell.
Sir, what is the second word in the last question?
Politics approach.
No, sir, NPM dash a governance model. I can't.
NPM devices. NPM devises a governance model. NPM is the second reinvention of the government. First, we have talked. NPM has disregard for the role of the state. You'll understand by the discussion. NPM ends up reviving Wilsonian dichotomy. A very important and interesting debate. So we will test your knowledge after talking NPM. Whether it is reviving this dichotomy, we expect as a question. Right. Then we also expect this question. NPM is model in more generic sense rather than empirical sense. This has already been asked. NPM is dead. Long live digital era governance. Perhaps it was asked in 2009. Right. So very popular again. We'll deal this. Then NPM devises a governance model which is business management rather than politics approach. This. So this will be able to answer when good governance topic will be taken. But this is a question. Right. It means when we'll take this, we'll also talk somewhere with public choice approach and NPM. Similarity and difference. Yes. So let's take this new public management. So you should know that already there was public management. This, whether you say it public management, whether you say public administration, it is talking new. So old, new. So what is that new? This is, we'll try to understand. Basically, let's say, if in nutshell will I give you perspective, it talks about for state. What is that strategy? What state should not do, should do, and how? It should do. So its state should not do business. What state should do? Regulation. And how it should do? Business management way. Already you know past history about public choice approach, marketization, etc. So background already you are aware. We will also mention that background, but it started talking during 90s that what state should do. The state should do regulation and facilitation. So state should do regulation, facilitation. How state should do? So in a managerial way or business management way. And what it should not do means business. Hence it devised that philosophy that the business of the state is not to do business. The business of the state is not to do business. Means, let's say that when we started LPG and public choice approach, so they were still making their impact. So they were making their impact. But states were still not, let's say, reforming. Like say India started reforming only in 1991. It's not that when Thatcherism started, Reaganism started, so other countries also started at the same time. So still states were very much Leviathan type, still states were welfare type, still states were characterized by doing all sort of roles from cradle to grave. So that is how in that context NPM became more clear in the sense if you see. So if you go like this, suppose marketization starts. So marketization if it starts with public choice approach, the LPG takes to this marketization and NPM takes to its highest point. So NPM is culmination. That is how reputational zenith जिसको बोलते हैं in classical era term. So NPM has taken market to the highest level. Thereafter, let's say, started decline. So thereafter, it is started. Post NPM, but we don't have to talk on this yet. So this is how the market era starts with 1960s and it reaches to 1990s like this. Hence certainly it will have something better than them. NPM will have something better than them, or it will have certain improvement over them. Right. The improvement over them is that it is a model, now it is a theory. Public choice approach is an approach. The question was asked in public choice, if you have read that, the public choice approach as a field is, let's say, marked with diversity. If you read past year question in 2018 or 19, a question was asked. The public choice approach has diversity. What is diversity? Means within public choice approach there are different schools of thought. And those schools of thought, they have highlighted weaknesses of administration. They highlighted and then they suggested some points. So they have not devised theory. Theory is always an explanation of a phenomenon. You explain a phenomenon, right? But a model, let's say that when you talk about approach or strategy, so it can be about certain points that you suggest as a strategy. The public choice approach is also, let's say, an approach which suggests certain strategy. It cannot be considered as a theory. The way new public administration is not a theory, it is an approach. It gave 3 NT goals, 5 goals. Right. It's another matter that in generic sense they can be considered as theory, or when it is written so it is considered as theory in generic sense, in a very abstract sense. But specifically, let's say that they are suggesting. Therefore, new public management has devised a theory, a model, that what states means in marketization era. So, what states should do, what states should do, what states should not do, and how it should do. And that has been done very clearly. LPG will say that basically they will say that states should not do business and states should regulate and facilitate. How of LPG, how of PS, public choice approach will be lacking. This. So they will lack how. But how of NPM is right. And that is the, let's say, improvement. The how of NPM is improvement over them, or it has addressed their how problem. The how states should do it in a business management way. What is that business management way? It has devised this business management way, which we say as neo-Taylorism. It has devised managerial strategy. Business management way means it has devised, that is called managerialism. It has devised a managerial strategy. Which we'll talk, no doubt. it is this managerial strategy that government is, it is called substance side. It is the substance. We remember we told in case of NPA कि it is lacking substance. Right. PCA has not been criticized that way, but substance it is providing that कि what exactly administration should do. Yes, administration should regulate, administration should roll back. Then whatever the administration is doing, how it should do. How administration should regulate. So how administration itself should be organized and structured, that has also been provided by new public management. Right. This, and that is its unique feature, let's say, which is it is still influencing reforms. The first two are largely similar to what they will say, although the statement are assertiveness will find of new public management. But public choice approach is also talking regulation, LPG is also talking regulation. The regulation facilitations are not new. Government should roll back from business, it is also not new. But the managerial strategy that it talks, which is known as neo-Taylorism, that is new in new public management. This. अब neo-Taylorism you say, तो neo and Taylorism. Already there was Taylorism. So what is that neo? That is what we will talk. Therefore, by this strategy in brief, you will say that government should not do business, government should be regulating and facilitating, and government should adopt managerial strategy. Means that managerial strategy means government should become like entrepreneur. Government should become like entrepreneur. The way entrepreneurs are. So enterprising. The government should become enterprising, which we'll talk later on. I just wanted to make it a bit more clear. What? And they have argued more forcefully than public choice approach. Like say Wilson had also forcefully argued. Similarly, new public management thinkers have argued very forcefully what government should do, what it should not do, how it should do, and that is how it emerged as a dominant model. Right. And by this it wants to achieve, its objectives are also three E's. Efficiency, effectiveness, economy, and in that, let's say, efficiency is most important. Although it talks about three E's, but as a theme, but its emphasis is on efficiency. The way even Wilson talked three E's, but his emphasis was on efficiency. We use the efficiency term more than anything else. Right. So it has also its objective like that. But how it wants to achieve? The how part has become a key factor of new public management. And because of that, it has right, profound impact. On administration. Right. Let's take another important. So, it says what is how. just to give you some ideas at this stage, what is managerialism? So managers, the bureaucrats should become like managers. Bureaucrats should become like managers. What are those managers here? So they should have autonomy. They should have, they should be empowered, and they should be performance oriented. So if you bring change within administration like this, it will achieve a reinvention type, it will achieve efficiency. No doubt there are other roles. State should work as facilitator, steerer, catalysts. Right. Catalyst driven, that is how I can say. So the role of the state, the role of the administration. Now managers. The managers should not govern the way bureaucracy governs traditionally. How managers should also govern? That they should work as facilitator. They should work as a steerer. They should be catalyst driven. Catalyst driven means, let's say, they should be more proactive, working as facilitator. Right. So they want that administration should be more managerial type, business management type, and they talk like anything. Even Wilson will fail to talk like this. They have talked about management or business management, let's say that. Even what Wilson was talking, even if they go beyond Wilson, they want to convert a bureaucrat as manager. This why they want to convert bureaucrat as managers. So we'll talk later on. Like managers are noble people, they are professionals, and if you give them autonomy, they will perform. This, and that is what, let's say, they want. Means state should not behave the way state behaves, with high-handedness. The state behaves with high-handedness, state behaves with control, state behaves with bureaucratic approach, state behaves like license Raj, inspector Raj, let's say that. States more behave like monopolistic. So states should not behave in that way. Rather, states should become friend of business. It should work with business and facilitate business, right, rather than it should create impediment in business. This, and that is how the impact, that is what called reinvention. Just for beginning, then when you explain, so we will tell one by one. But that is the crux of new public management, that it wants to achieve efficiency in public administration by introducing managerialism, which goes even beyond Wilson and Taylor. And it envisages to incorporate business management practices in other roles of the state, especially its regulatory and facilitatory role. And it simply rejects the role of the state in the field of business. That the state should not be in business, because the business of the state is not to do business. That is how its philosophy. You should know that our present government and Prime Minister often speaks this statement. The business of the government is not to do business, which was spoken by New Public Management 30 years back. Right. This. So let's write on that. Since it is already well known, we have discussed. So I will at least tell those context and introduction part. Then finally we'll talk about NPM on this. So let's write on that. New public management. New public management emerged during 90s as the most dominant paradigm of public administration. As the most dominant paradigm of public administration. During 1990s. Most dominant paradigm of public administration in contemporary times. So much so that so much so that it had very profound impact on both discipline and practice of public administration. Discipline and practice of public administration. That even public administration came to be characterized by public management. That is, administration started getting replaced by management. Administration started getting replaced by management. Its main philosophy is the business of the government is not to do business. The business of the government is not to do business, but whatever the business it does, it should do with business approach. And hence it has three prominent characteristics. Regulation and facilitation, marketization and managerialism. It is so influenced by business management that even it is known as neo-Taylorism. As a model, it is culmination of impact of public choice approach and LPG. That it provides strategy. On what a state should do, what it should not do, and how it should do. Its how aspects, its how strategy provides substance for bringing administrative reforms within administration and making it efficient. And it is due to this how aspect that it has improvement over public choice approach. Although public choice approach provided theoretical base for new public management. Change in paragraph. No any other approach in public administration had as much profound impact as new public management during 90s in terms of administrative reforms, administrative reforms for promoting managerialism throughout the world, and even if there are post NPM models as critique to new public management, still its impact can be seen in different administrative systems, including India, where the present government has adopted the minimum government and the maximum governance philosophy. Minimum government and maximum governance philosophy, which also envisages steerer role of the state, and business of the government is not to do business. Business of the government is not to do business. Context. The context of its emergence. New public management context or root goes back to the New Right philosophy and neoliberal philosophy, which gave rise to public choice approach. Since then, the developments in discipline and practice like
and Osborne and
Gabler, Gaebler, Osborne and Gabler. Basically, they are the thinkers of new public management, which we'll talk after features. So, Washington Consensus name comes, so you should be aware about Washington Consensus. What is Washington Consensus? And in rare case, UPSC can ask a question related to this. The Washington Consensus is symbolic of advocating market philosophy, led by World Bank and IMF. So you should know कि World Bank and IMF how they advocate market philosophy. Their headquarters are since in Washington. That is how a kind of philosophy emerging known as Washington Consensus. And this Washington Consensus, so this structural adjustment program, that is how it is a liberal strategy advocated by World Bank. And you know IMF how it promotes market reforms. IMF has also been promoting market reforms, including, let's say, that Indian new economic policy. That is how they are created. And that is how it is symbolic. You should know about that. Then academic works they have published. So NPM did not emerge only due to that. What happened that they started publishing their reports on the basis of market reforms already being taken up, first, and second, the market reforms to be taken up. Because again, let's say that as we told that market became a new god to solve the problems of a state. and they started advocating not only the market as reform, but they also started advocating strategy how to reform, especially administration. So this way you should understand why, how it emerged, what they were writing in their papers. So they have written their papers and books like, say, the most important book is called Reinvention of Government, published in 1992. So basically if you take public choice approach or LPG, they will say that state or administration, so they should become regulator and facilitator or market friendly, and they should reform. How this administration should be reformed, how, they have not talked, it is talked by new public management. Now, they have looked into administration within. Administration within. If you remember, we told that okay, public choice approach, they are trying to explain the relationship between politician, bureaucrats and citizen. The public choice approach is explaining the relation between politician, bureaucrat and citizen. So, administration, let's say, it's about politician, bureaucrat and citizen, their relationship. And on the basis, their main focus is to explain the relationship. On the basis of that, they say that you debureaucratize. How to debureaucratize? They are not clear. They say that you reduce your role, government rollback. Now, even if they say debureaucratization, but they have not looked into bureaucracy. The PCA does not look into bureaucracy. Rather, it says you reform bureaucracy. How? God knows. Now, the NPM is looking into bureaucracy. Right? It is going inside bureaucracy. How it should be reformed? Neo-Taylorism. This means once again a theory has gone into looking organization. For the first 4 decades and 5 decades of public administration, thinkers were looking inside organization. Right. Then they started looking outside organization. New public administration, public choice approach, LPG. Now new public management is looking outside organization also and inside organization also. Outside organization in terms of state, people, market, what should be the relation? Right. And inside administration or organization means how inside administration can be reformed. And how it will be reformed? So what Taylor was talking. Plus Taylor plus Neo-Taylorism. The Neo-Taylorism will be Taylor plus. That is what it is. And this is what, let's say, new public management. And this is what Neo, this Taylor plus, are inside bureaucracy. So this is what they were looking. So when they are writing their papers, they are looking inside bureaucracy, inside administration, which influence emergence of new public management. This, so let's write further on that. So what is the last line that you have written?
Sir, since the developments in discipline and practice like zero.
Like of which, let's say that, of which the contextual development in terms of practices and reforms were already happening under the impact of new public already happening under the impact of public choice approach. Public choice approach. And the new thinkers as mentioned above, right, started publishing their papers and books, documenting the experiences of market reforms on the one hand, and on the other, devising new managerial strategy, devising new managerial strategy by looking inside administration, so that it could be reformed on managerial pattern. It could be reformed on business management pattern, came to be characterized as neo-Taylorism. That is, their books and papers highlighted role of managerial approach, which manifested a new wave of movement, right, reposing faith in managers, that if administration is transformed as management with autonomy and empowerment, managers would perform better than bureaucracy. Managers would perform better than bureaucrats. Which they argued and emphasized very forcefully. For instance, Osborne and Gabler book, The Reinvention of Government. Published in 1992, had most important impact among all. As they devised the philosophy of It is the very powerful statement. Still it is used. We don't need big government, rather better governance. That is called minimum government, maximum governance. And the least government is the best government. Then outdated, or that old machineries. The old machineries are outdated. We need to remake it. Remake is reinvention. The term reinvention has become very popular. It is a buzzword, let's say that. You'll find often it in newspaper, etc. Reinvention, big government, rejection of big government, and talk of better governance, governance, good governance. So that is how good governance or governance concept or network governance. This is what you should know that. So let's write this further. And the publication of their book in 1992 ultimately gave rise to emergence of new public management. So you should know that new public management route, if you trace, so it goes to public choice approach, new right philosophy. But as a concept, as a theory and model, it has emerged in 1992. This should be very clear. Right. The term was coined also by Christopher Hood in 1991. Means there was no such term before. But its root, you can see that how its root in past. Right. So that while writing, today you may have clarity, but while writing you should not write in upside down way. The people write NPM first, then they write public choice approach. Right. They write NPM first, then they write LPG. So you should know the order of, let's say, development. Anyhow, and that is how, let's say, that new public management emerged. So already reforms were going on. So when we talk impact of NPM, so we talk those reforms side by side going on. The Thatcherism, Reaganism, etc. are also reforms of NPM. But they precedes NPM. So people will ask how it can be possible. Because NPM is also talking the similar reforms. Those reforms have also influenced NPM. Plus, it's not only reforms, it's also about a new faith in management, a new faith in managers reposed by the thinkers. They think that if managers are given autonomy, they are empowered, they would work better than bureaucrats. That was a dominant force during 90s, and that is how neo-Taylorism comes into picture. So in this regard, to just substantiate our point, you should know Donald Kettle say that let managers manage and make managers manage. This is by Donald Kettle. What does it mean? When we say let managers manage and make managers manage, it is another popular statement of new public management. We expect a question. So this.
Sir, does it mean empowerment and autonomy?
Yes. The make manager means it is about autonomy. And this means, it is empowerment. This is autonomy. Its significance you will understand when we will talk later on. When we'll give examples at sectors, you'll understand. At least let me write key features, because then we'll talk tomorrow all these things further. So key features, let's say. Key features of NPM.
Sir,
Let me finish, then you talk. First, these are the three important features. We'll elaborate tomorrow. Yes, now you ask.
Sir, in the statement of Donald Kittle, make manage is more like capacity building, sir. How it is empowerment, sir?
The
Like the existing managers, it's like capacity building of the existing managers. How can we state it as an empowerment?
capacity building is empowerment.
I mean, the already hired managers, we are trying to enhance their ability to work. It's more like capacity building. It's different from empowerment, right, sir?
Empowerment includes capacity building plus opportunity powered for decision making.
Okay.
So autonomy will result into, if you give autonomy, so you have to give them power of decision making.
Yes.
That way. Yes.
Sir, when we talk about night watchman and invisible hand and regulation, are they referring to the same thing that state should regulate and facilitate?
Yes. See, they talk regulation, they talk facilitation, but let's say that it has been criticized because many a time their emphasis has not been on regulation, rather their emphasis has been more on marketization. When state regulates, so it is disliked. So regulation aspect, they say the market should be regulated, but regulation emphasis has come after, let's say that NPM, in post NPM, or we were talking about this market debate 2000 onwards, when they say that invisible hand should strangulate market. So basically they were talking about regulation, But regulation, they have not given very emphasis on that. And in a way, it has been presumed that ki market even without regulation. That is what night watchman, let's say. But like say ki with the day state decides anything, you know how market resists. If SEBI introduces any new thing, the market resists.
I didn't get that.
Sorry.
Could you try again?
Right. The market resists. This is what we'll find. And if CAG audit is ordered, so you know market does not only resist, it comes on road. Right. So it says ki no, matlab they will do all irregularities. I gave you yesterday example of Larsen and Toubro, right? They will do all sort of things, but they don't want compliance. So both cannot be. You cannot have both things in your hand. Business also and your excesses also. Then where the society will go. Right. That's why post NPM there is a greater emphasis on strong regulation. Even you should know that when subprime crisis happened in US, and then there was a United Nations committee was set up for global regulation, and there were conferences held for global regulation of market. So France agreed for global regulation and creating a separate body. US did not agree, although the crisis started in US itself. But US was against any global regulatory body. There was a debate to create a global regulatory body that time, because you cannot have globalization without global regulation. And lots of things have been written in COVID time ki there cannot be, you should have a global government, there should be a global health institution. So these things have been debated because you cannot have globalization without global government. Global government does not mean a government like the way we have. The global government means, let's say, a sort of global mechanism to regulate the things. Because it was the fault of US, but all countries suffered. Subprime crisis happened in US, but all countries suffer. So when all countries are suffering, so in globalized environment, a country has a stake in another's economy. What is happening? You have to know what is happening. Further, we'll talk in globalization. Yes. Any other question?
Sir, PCA rejects the social justice in the same way that it rejects the welfare state, or there are so many other reasons?
Same
What
thing,
basis?
social justice, welfare, public interest, they are interrelated, interchangeable.
Means interrelated and interchangeable.
Yes. Thatcherism, Reaganism, one reform, they precede NPM. Yes, they precede NPM. NPM emerged in 1990s, and Reaganism, Thatcherism, it happens in 80s. So there is a gap of 10 years almost.
Sir, this Thatcherism and Reaganism are the factors for the emergence of NPM, right? Or are they the impact of NPM?
What you are saying?
Thatcherism and Reaganism are the factors that contributed to the emergence of NPM, right? Or
Yes.
the other way, the NPM resulted into Thatcherism and
No,
Reaganism.
how can reverse result?
No, you said that if they preceded them, though they are actually the developments of NPM, but they preceded the NPM. That's what
Yes,
you told.
they precede NPM, and by the time you had Thatcherism and Reaganism, there was no concept of NPM.
So they influenced the emergence of NPM. We can
Yes,
say
they
that.
influenced the emergence of NPM, but they are also considered NPM reforms because NPM is also talking similar reforms. Right. So they emerge before emergence of NPM. This is how we see. We cannot say public management, public administration synonymous. Only in the context of this we are talking. Public management, new public management. See, when you say new public management, why you say it is a new public management, and why there was new public administration? And both are in public administration. So you should know public sector management, we say. Now public sector administration we do not say nowadays. We say public sector management. And we have financial administration, 12th chapter, but you have a financial management in paper second. Right. So administration and management means somehow they started using interchangeably. That does not mean that public management is synonymous with public administration. Public administration is still broader term. Right. So that way we should see this. Very big paragraph. What are you writing?
Sir, one doubt. The night watchman statement that we told, is it like the state should be a strict regulator, or it is kind of
State, no, night watchman is recognizing state should not even regulate, state should not have even presence. Its presence will be more like night watchman rather than a security personnel.
okay?
Right. You compare police and night watchman. The police has a strong presence. So night watchman is something they are saying that it is ki state should have very minimal presence, means no presence also. Right. So it is a negative term. Night watchman has a negative connotation. Very big paragraph, what very difficult to read, because basically I have in lockdown I have lost my some eyesight. I have to change my spec number LEDs. So public administration has discipline survived even after theory building was criticized. Yes. So what you want to ask? As we say, lack of empirical theory is major weakness for. So yes, there has not been theoretical development. Since new public administration has less theoretical development, although there have been theoretical development in public policy field during the same time. We will not say, since we have not taught you public policy, other chapters. So that does not mean that there is no theoretical development after new public administration. There have been theoretical developments, but yes, certainly we are not studying them at this stage. And public choice, LPG, new public management, so they are not recognized as theory. And that way you can see that a crisis of theory of public administration. This.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, my question is also related to something like this, that as public administration as a discipline doesn't have its own theory, so what would be the possible defense to this question? Like, what can we write about if it doesn't have its own theory, it could be recognized as a separate discipline? Like in earlier past classes, you told that it doesn't have a theory. So what
But
would be the difference?
we told that still it attempted to develop a theory of public administration. Like say we told about Max Weber ideal bureaucracy, we told about comparative development administration, that attempt. Then we told about post NPM models. So there have been attempts to develop theory of public administration, but they have not been successful. In defense, you have to talk those things. That saying that there has not been a theory of public administration will be very extreme, simply because discipline is very young. Second is, attempts have been made to develop theory, but they have not been successful. Still there are attempts to develop theory, especially post NPM, NPS and new public governance. So there are attempts to develop theory of public administration. This plus at the same time, when we say those theories in public administration, so we cannot say that if they have been developed in some other field, so they cannot be considered theory of public administration, because the thinkers who focused on developing those theories, they were trying to propagate the theories for both disciplines, public administration and management science. That's why they have used the term administration even, not management. So Henry Fayol uses the term administration in his theory, and Simon also writes administrative behavior, although he should have written organization behavior, but he writes administrative behavior. So to that extent also we can say that even if they were developed in other fields, but they have relevance in public administration. However, still a discipline is recognized only when it has its theory of own, and that is an academic weakness which administration, means public administration, should overcome in coming times. That should be your view.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more question from past class. In Mohit Bhattacharya, Dwight Waldo said that most important document in development of public administration, one which established him at least the founder, if not the father. So, is there any difference to be a founder and to be a father?
Yes, there is difference. Let me read some other statements. I will answer your question. Promote production. See, a thinker you know less. A thinker can have multi-perspective, and hence a thinker can be a critic also. A thinker can be academicians. You do not know. Basically, you may be more knowing about scientists and engineers. Academicians are very, let's say that different people. They can be critic also. They can appreciate also. They can then critic to their own theory also. They can formulate new theory. So they have lots of flexibility and openness. This. And then what is your question on Dunleavy? Just if you write again, so I will say this.
Sir, I have written it.
Yes, so I guess I have answered. Because let me say, Riggs he started his theory in 1956, he rejected, he gave another theory, he rejected, he gave finally his theory in 1974. So he rejected his theory 2 times. So a thinker has a multi-perspective, this you should understand. So he can be a critic also, he can also appreciate. Now let's come to Dwight Waldo aspect. See, Dwight Waldo has certain doubt on this about founding father of public administration. This I did not tell deliberately because that will further result into complexity. Although at certain point of time we will tell all these things. Simply because when public administration is not only influenced by political science and management science first. Second, that public administration has seen so many perspectives related to sociology also, psychology also, economics also, law also, and in contemporary times we go for postmodern, post-development, post-NPM. So when public administration it was found in management science, branching off from political science, and then its focus was on a structural aspect of organization which Wilson wanted, but today it does not subscribe to that route. Today it has got, let's say, multifarious perspectives, and therefore they argue, including Waldo, then can we have, when public administration as a subject is interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, so can it have one father? That is what, let's say, the view. Rather it should have many father, let's say that, he says, Waldo says, but it is not recognized. View is there, but it is not recognized. That is why in this context Waldo has written founder if not father.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Whatever the different views we have, see, people can give you view now. Let me tell you this way. We have parliamentary democracy, we have presidential democracy. At the same time, there are other types of democracy, but do we count them in our debate? We do not count them in our debate. Largely we let focus in debate presidential parliamentary. This similarly, let's say once something has been recognized, it will remain recognized even if it has been rejected. Even if Wilson has been criticized, post models are there, but still Wilson is recognized as father of public administration. There is no doubt on that. And you should not bring Waldo view unless it is needed. Unless we need it. Yes.
So, when Milton Friedman is saying that market is more efficient than a state to achieve the social goals of society, so here the social goals are, is it reflecting the social justice part or what?
Social goal is relating with society goal. Society goal is related to choice maximization. It is not about that social justice. Right. Take in a generic way. The social goals they are referring to society. That is called choice maximization. Right. Yes.
Sir, there is a question like, is there any danger in calling PA as science? So can we frame it like, is it any danger in calling PA as a discipline, and then conclude that it is not, it can be called a discipline, but it has relevance? We can be just substantiate and finish that a question of that type in that way.
See, there is no danger in saying as a science. If you not say science, so what it will say? This is the question. So there is danger in not saying science, rather in saying science. Because any discipline which has organized knowledge, it is a science. Now the question comes that which type of science and how much scientific. There will be gradation, that we have already told.
That's
Now
not the case.
discipline, when you say that discipline, so yes, it is a discipline because it fulfills some of the conditions of a discipline. It does not fully conform to those standards, but it conforms to some extent. Can we say? So when it conforms to some extent, so it will be discipline. Yes, less recognized, more recognized. That will be the debate. Debate will not be whether it is a discipline or not. It has gone beyond that question. It is a separate discipline. Now, whether it is recognized or not, that we are talking. We are not debating whether it is a discipline or not. We are debating which kind of discipline it is. So that should be the way. So let's finish today. Business like, you think yourself how Wilson and NPM both are different or similar. Tomorrow we will ask this and deal this.
Live online classes are as effective as offline classes. Ethics with S. Ansari remains the best ever choice. Do you know that ethics paper is the only paper in general studies that pays more with less efforts? One can easily secure 130 to 140 marks. Lukman IAS is a well-established name since 2014 for ethics paper. We offer 3 types of courses: Ethics Foundation course, Ethics Case Studies, and Ethics Test Series. Since 2015, Lukman IAS students have maintained the records of securing the highest marks in this paper. Ethics Foundation course is starting from 21st of June 2021. Classes will be for 4 days in a week from 11 am to 1:30 pm. The course duration is of 60 days and the videos will be available for 75 days. There will be 43 classes, of which 35 classes will be focused on theory and concept building and 8 classes will be dedicated for case studies. There will be over 180 case studies and 3 tests. Since 4 months are left for prelims, one can easily finish the ethics paper before prelims itself, and it's a good opportunity. So why to wait? Contact us today for more information. Welcome to Lukman IAS, the Public Administration Foundation. Live online classes are as effective as offline classes. Study Public Administration optional under the guidance of S. Ansari, the one who has taken this optional to a new height. Since 2011, Lukman IAS students have maintained the records of securing the highest marks in this optional. Go through the course features of Public Administration Foundation for 2021. Live classes are similar to offline classes in terms of the concept building, the interaction and addressing of students' queries, and the dictation of notes. There will be elaborate discussions on concepts, theories and principles, linking them with contemporary and current developments. In the live classes, notes are properly dictated the way it is done in offline classes. In fact, it is one USP of S. Ansari sir's classes. Optional is like a religion. You have to study it with a discipline and dedication under a guru. Most students get good ranks due to ethics, essay and optional, for which one does not have a better choice than Luqman IAS. So, contact us today for more information.